So look at this question from section C, resource management, question 3. It's not talking about water or energy. This is about food. So sometimes they're quite specific with their questions, and you need to remember that lesson we looked at on like food miles and stuff like that. So this one's asking you, what's the advantage of getting food locally? So getting food locally within the UK, so like British farmers. So again, it's point plus explain, like, development. So if you just give me one marker, it's like, oh yeah, the money goes straight to the farmer, local farmers, or it lowers food miles, that's just one mark. If you just know that, then just write that. But if you're going to develop it, so you say the argument about, oh yeah, money goes to farmers, explain how that helps. It helps grow, helps with with the local economy and local businesses. So can you see the money goes straight to the farmer, local farmers, which means they have an increased share, more income, more profit. So that helps them. Or you could argue that actually it lowers food miles. Why is that good? Does it reduce carbon emissions? It lowers food miles, and that reduces carbon emissions, lowers the greenhouse effect. You could say it reduces those kind of food miles. And that's the advantage of getting food locally within the UK. So look at this question. It's a question 6 question. It's about energy from section C of paper 2. It's asking you about fossil fuels. So which fossil fuel did we look at? And does this fossil fuel bring advantages and disadvantages? Can you give an example as well with it? So the fossil fuel that you looked at was gas. So you shouldn't be thinking of coal and oil, and you have to go into it now. So I'm going to go through some generic advantages. As you can see from the mark scheme, you can talk about how extracting gas can create lots of job opportunities, that money can be used to help develop local infrastructure such as new roads and stuff. It helps provide energy for lots of factories and industries. You can export it. So you could talk about any of those guys. I'm going to show you examples of how, but only go for like 2 of them, and then go for some disadvantages as well, maybe 1 or 2 over here. That actually extracting gas can disturb local communities, because that means loads of local people might have to move from the area. It can obviously destroy habitats and actually contaminate water and land. And obviously the main thing is CO2 emissions. But let me show you how you explain them. This is from our kind of like mind map that I've shared out with everyone. So a generic advantage will be like, actually it's less polluting compared to oil and gas. There's huge amounts available to extract and use, and therefore I would explain how it can really support industries and factories. And also it provides about around 1 million jobs around the world, and that you can easily explain that, say how that helps lots of locals earn an income, especially in LICs, NEEs. And disadvantages, you still talk about how, if you were to extract the gas, it still produces huge amounts of CO2 and methane. That increases the enhanced greenhouse effect, link it to global warming. You could use this idea of colorless and odorless that we looked at, how there's a greater risk of gas compared to coal and oil. But can you see the word example? You need to really link it into an example. So the example of where they were extracting gas was from South America, in the Peruvian kind of Amazon. It's a gas project in South America, so from 2004. What's the main idea you can talk about? I'd go for advantages that Peru can generate about 34 billion over 34 years through gas exports. And why is that a good thing? How does that help? Well, actually, the advantages will improve their GDP, will help improve infrastructure, because they can use the export revenue from gas and develop their economy. And that can obviously go towards other things like, improving services like schools and hospitals. So that is a 6 marker that could come up this year. Do go over that.